Hello there, friends. It is Jimmie Maverick. It is Sunday, the 25th of August, and what a day it was yesterday for fantasy. Oh my gosh, it was exhausting keeping up with what was happening out there. The Lamar Miller season-ending injury, the Andrew Luck retirement. Let me just tell you what. I feel bad for the people that drafted yesterday because a lot of people got screwed. That's what happened, man. And I am a strong proponent of drafting as late as possible. In fact, I did have a draft last weekend for an Instagram Experts League, right? That's the only one I've had so far. My next draft isn't until next Friday. So I wait for all the week 3 stuff to settle. This always happens every single season. There's always 2, 3, 4 guys that have big injuries or something happens. Likewise, you've got players just flying around the draft board. You know, the instant Lamar Miller got injured, Duke Johnson's value just exploded, so there's a lot of stuff. It's really hard. It's tough to keep track of this stuff, right? Well, guess what? My app is keeping track of all of it. My perfect fantasy draft. I was on there all day yesterday working on stuff, modifying and managing and moving and everything else. It was a labor of love, but you can be assured that when you log into my app, you're going to have the very latest information on players, the latest information available on when they are getting selected in the draft. It is really going to help you. And all you got to do, if you have my app and you're using it, please refresh the screen every time you use it, because that allows the new information, the modifications to be calculated in and adjust accordingly. So we are going to do a draft today on ESPN. We're going to do a 12-team draft. I'm picking second. Let's see what happens here as far as how the draft goes today. Lots of things happen. Man, Joyce, you also have the whole situation. Zeke Elliott rejected the contract offer that was given to him to make him the second highest running back paid in the league. So he rejected that. That helps Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is increasing on the draft board. There's all sorts of stuff happening, all these moving parts. And that was one of the things that always tripped me up when I was doing fantasy football drafts, is keeping track of this stuff is just mind-boggling. And then you end up making critical mistakes during the draft, which just end up dooming your team to a season of mediocrity. You don't want that to happen. Go get my app. Go to Fantasy Football Maverick. Get the app and try it out. I think you're going to find it's going to absolutely help your game. So let's get this list set up. So we are doing a half-point PPR league. We are, going to use my filters. And then what's the size of the league? We're going to do a 12-team league, picking second, enter draft mode. And we will get that going. Draft starts in 55 seconds. Who should we take? Obviously, Saquon's sort of the consensus number 1, but he is not my consensus number 1. I have real concerns about that team this season as far as how good they're going to be. Is he going to slump? I think there's a high likelihood that he is. My recommendation is Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara. Christian McCaffrey, also the injury to Cam Newton just the other day, right? That also puts a little ding in his value. I'm thinking we go with Alvin Kamara because he's got a rock-solid quarterback on a rock-solid offense. They are going to be excellent. The Saints are going to be excellent this year. I'm all in on Kamara right now. I did hear that Cam is going to be coming back to practice tomorrow. If he does, that's great. But he's got that mid-foot sprain. I hate foot injuries. They're so chancy. You really just don't want to take a chance on your draft. Get yourself healthy guys that are 100% healthy and ready to go day one. That's who you want to load up your whole thing with. And who did the guy take first? Oh, he took Christian McCaffrey first anyway. Let's go ahead. We'll take Kamara. I love taking Kamara with my first pick. Love that offense. And so let's go to the second round. And what are we looking at here? So basically, we are looking at, when you look at the player list down here, if we sort by draft position, we are looking at all the players between pick number 20 and pick number 51. Okay, it's because our picks right here, 23, 26, and then we got 47 and 50 are our next picks. So you're looking at basically all the players between this pick and our next pick, but instead of being sorted by their draft position or by some arbitrary top 200 list, I have what I call the Vork Score. And what this is value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. These are the 4 key stats that I look at when I'm evaluating players. It's these 4 columns over here. And based on how they do on each of these 4 key stats, they get points. And then those points are added up, and that gives you your Vork Score. So you can see up at the top, my app is recommending. So my app recommends going tight end in the second round. That's interesting, right? Kittle and Ertz. It's also saying we should take Phillip Lindsay. That is an interesting combination of players, but that's like how the draft is going right now. Now, I absolutely do not agree with the Phillip Lindsay recommendation. I can't believe he is as high as he is because his value is terrible. How is he up this high? And let's see here. We also got a ton of great wide receivers, and I always like to go wide receiver with my second pick. And you can see Mike Evans is currently a long shot. That's what little gun means. Less than a 50-50 shot will make it to us because he's typically getting drafted at pick 22. We are at pick 23. But after him, we got Brandon Cooks, we got T.Y. Hilton, we got Adam Thielen. We got a lot of guys with value in the 30s, which means all the wide receivers are currently overvalued in this round. We might want to just go with running backs, and we can get our wide receivers in the next round where they're still going to be valued in the 40s. So we're not really losing that much value for running backs. And of course, the tight ends. Let's look at the tight ends real quick because they offer, again, value in the 30s. Very poor value. This is a tough thing to do right now just because of the way the draft is modifying and people are going. So let's stick with running backs. Let's get running backs. I still don't understand how Phillip Lindsay is so highly valued here because his value is terrible. I mean, look at who we can get. Kerryon Johnson, Melvin Gordon, who I don't want to get, Leonard Fournette, Marlon Mack, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery. We got lots of great choices here. I kind of like the idea of going with Kerryon Johnson because he offers great value. Leonard Fournette also offers fantastic value. They're both injury risks. We could take a chance on one of these rookies, David Montgomery or Josh Jacobs. I think those guys are both great choices. Let's go ahead. We'll get those guys queued up. I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who we're going to get. But I think we're going to go running back in this route, and then we can get our wide receivers next round. So I will just pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's almost back to our pick. You can see I've filled our queue with a bunch of players. So I got Johnson, Fournette, Montgomery, and Jacobs. I also have Mike Evans, Zach Ertz, and George Kittle. Evans is still on the board. If Evans happens to make it to us, I would absolutely take Evans, and I'll take a running back. But right now, I think we are... Oh, look at that. Oh, okay, he's still on the board. I mean, Evans and Kerryon Johnson, that'd be a great combination to get. I like that. Look at that. Evans did make it to us. So a long shot made it to us. That's excellent. I like to use the queue because it keeps these guys highlighted so I can see that they're on the board. So let's go ahead. We'll take Evans first. We'll see if Kerryon makes it back to us at pick number 24. He might be gone though, but if that's the case, I'm all in on Montgomery. Let's go for Montgomery to have Kamara and Montgomery as our running backs. I think it's a great combination. Both are on great offenses. I think they're both going to be highly effective running backs this year. Montgomery's situation is a little bit of a crowded backfield, with Tariq Cohen and Mike Davis, but I think he is a good choice. So, okay, look, it looks like Kerryon did come off the board. Fournette is another option here. His role on that offense is unquestioned. They got rid of TJ Yeldon. He is the number one. His big issue is his reliability, but his value is supreme. He is, as long as he's playing, he's going to get that rock 25 times a game. And volume is the key. Value and volume is the key in fantasy football. He certainly offers much better value than Montgomery. Leonard Fournette, value ranked 22. David Montgomery, value ranked 33. So, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on Fournette. I always like to say take one chance in the top 6 picks. Fournette's going to be my chance. We can always get Raquel Armstead, his handcuff at the end of the draft. So let's go ahead and go with that. So we ended up taking Kamara, Fournette, and Evans, who I'm so happy we were able to get. Evans, again, was a long shot. So let's go to the next round. And the app is recommending Tyler Boyd, Robby Anderson, Duke Johnson. So again, we've got great wide receivers at this point. Tyler Tyler Boyd, let's see here. If we look at the wide receivers, Tyler Boyd offers a value rank of 41. So again, he's undervalued relative to our draft position. Robert Woods is a long shot. I'd love to get Robert Woods if he made it to us. Robby Anderson, value rank 45. So he's basically fair value at these points. All these guys are undervalued. Let's get all those guys on the queue. And then for running backs, you can see, look, Duke Johnson all of a sudden has fantastic value because of what happened to Lamar Miller yesterday. And this is the time when we would need to take him. So Duke Johnson is certainly a worthy choice. Phillip Lindsay is a long shot for this round. Josh Jacobs is a long shot for this round. Boy, if Josh Jacobs makes it back to us, that would be a coup d'etat, man. I mean, that would be amazing. So let me get some of these guys queued up. You can also see Austin Eckler is a guy I like, although the value on these guys is not great. You know, you look at Tevin Coleman, Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders. These guys all have values in the 70s and 80s. We're at pick 47. That's a bad bet. You don't want to take players like that. Darius Geis is another player that does offer some good value, some fair value at this point, but he is a bit risky, just because he's coming off that ACL tear. So I want to draft guys that are 100% healthy, 100% ready to go. So I'm going to get a bunch of these guys queued up. We'll come back and we'll see who's available and we'll see who we can. All right, so it's almost back to our pick. You can see David Montgomery still on the board. Josh Jacobs is gone. Phillip Lindsay is still on the board as well. Lindsay offers a decent value at this point in the draft. We're at pick 47.50. He offers value rank of 60, so he's not quite as overvalued as he was on the prior cycle. I'd be inclined to, obviously if Montgomery makes it, oh my gosh, if Montgomery makes it to our fourth pick, that is absolutely key. I mean, that would be amazing. Look, T.Y. Hilton's still on the board. Now, T.Y. Hilton obviously downgraded because of the loss of Andrew Luck. But holy cow, look at this coup. David Montgomery made it to us in the fourth pick of the draft. I am absolutely going to take him here. His value rank was like 33. And so we are sitting here now at pick 47. So we're getting over like a round and a half of value by taking him. That is amazing. That is so good. You can see here Tyler Boyd, Robby Anderson, Duke Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, Austin Eckler. Given that we got our elite wide receiver in Mike Evans, I think we can wait on another wide receiver to the next round. Let's get ourselves one more running back. Duke Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, both in great situations right now. I do kind of like Lindsay more because Lindsay's already established on his team. Duke Johnson just joined Houston last week, so he's much more of a speculative play. Austin Eckler, I did put on my queue because if he falls to the next round, I'll take him. I do not want to take him this early, though. So we'll take Phillip Lindsay as our fourth. So now we've got Kamara, Fournette, Montgomery, and Lindsay as our running backs, Evans as our wide receiver. We are in great shape right now. And like I said, we lucked out. Montgomery should not have made it to this pick, but we got him. I'm happy. Everybody's happy right now. So let's look at the next round. So for the 6-7 round, Duke Johnson becomes the number one, the number one choice. Now this is great because we already got him on the queue. And if he does make it to the 6th, 7th pick, we can absolutely get him then. Jarvis Landry, a great wide receiver who I'm very excited about. We could also take a tight end. Now it's recommending Austin Hooper, who actually is in a great situation. You know, Austin Hooper, it's a contract year for this guy. He's had an upward trend in his usage in each of the past 3 seasons. His value is not great, but his upside is, and his consistency also isn't great. Those are his biggest knocks. But high reliability, guy does not miss games. 5-star outlook this season. I'm thinking of taking a chance on Hooper, and you know what we could do if you're really kind of nervous about it? Let's try to grab a second tight end late. We could grab someone like Herndon or someone like that who's suspended for the first 4 games, someone who will come in and be a key part of the Jets offense once he gets off his suspension. That'd be a great choice. Now, let's also look. Here are some other tight ends going this round. You got Jared Cook, you got Vance McDonald, Eric Ebron, David Njoku. These guys don't offer great value. Jared Cook does also offer very good value, so I think we should put him on the queue. As far as running backs go, you know, Duke Johnson definitely. Kenyon Drake, who is injured, so I'm not going to bother with him right now. Tariq Cohen, Royce Freeman, Latavius Murray, Rashad Penny. Look at the value ranks on these guys. Again, we're at pick 71. You don't want to take a guy with a value rank of over 100 at this point in the draft. So you want to just stay away from those guys. For wide receivers, Jarvis Landry, Christian Kirk, Josh Gordon. Okay, there's lots of great choices here. Let me get all these guys queued up. We'll come back when it's our pick. We'll see who we're going to take. Okay, so it's almost back to our pick. Looks like Duke Johnson did get taken. So, we were kind of rolling the dice because we didn't take him on the prior round. But look who did make it back. Robby Anderson. Love this pick as a second wide receiver. Josh Gordon is also still on the board. You can also see we got Jared Cook, Vance McDonald, Austin Hooper still here as well. I'm kind of thinking Cook offers a great value at this point. So let's go ahead. We'll take Robby Anderson, and then it'll be a quick turnaround. Let's take our tight end, and I think we're going to be in great shape here. And if Cook somehow gets taken in the interim, let's go with Hooper, and then we'll try for a second tight end. If I take Cook, I'm good with Cook. We won't need to take a second tight end. It's just because of the, just the issue with, maybe he's not going to get enough volume to be fantasy relevant. Of course Cook got taken. Of course he did. All right, well, let's go with our initial top choice, Austin Hooper. And we will try to get ourselves a tight end late. So now let's jump to the 8th, 9th round. And you can see still great choices for wide receivers. Let me just say, just don't knock yourself out going early on wide receivers because there's so many good ones late. Sterling Shepard, Larry Fitzgerald, both great choices. Let's look at who else is on this round. Sammy Watkins, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Curtis Samuel. These are all guys that I want on my team. They're all great choices, so we'll definitely queue up a bunch of wide receivers for the next round. You can see it's also recommending a good quarterback, Jared Goff. Let's see what other quarterbacks are this round. Phil Rivers, Dak Prescott, Drew Brees, Jameis Winston. So I love Rivers. These other guys not as interested in. Prescott looked good last night. Boy, he's someone who I consider he's good, but he's good like Alex Smith good, which just means he's very efficient, but he's never really that great for fantasy. But Goff's got the best wide receiver core. If we wait on quarterbacks this round, we could get on the next round. Rivers and Prescott will be long shots. Trubisky, Roethlisberger, Brady, Allen, or Garoppolo. That's not a great bet. Let's definitely target a quarterback on this round so we get it locked down. And let's look at the running back, see if there's any good running backs. So here's a running back who I'm very interested in. Darwin Thompson, Kansas City running backs, getting a lot of buzz. He's moving up. Howard, Breida, not so much. David Henderson's also a guy I'm interested in. So we got a lot of guys to queue. Let me get these guys queued up. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who we're going to get. Okay, so it's almost back to us. Look at the queue. It's just all chock full of goodness right now. So I'm very excited. We got tons of guys to choose from. I also saw that Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson was also still on the board, so they are certainly in consideration. We'll take a quarterback with our 9th pick. But look, we got Shepard, we got Fitzgerald, Curtis Samuel, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. There's Darwin Thompson. It looks like Darrell Henderson just got taken, so that's all right. But this is why I like to use the queue, because it just lets me know who is still available. And if there's a guy I like in this round and he makes it to the next round, I really want to know that. So we've only taken two wide receivers so far this game. So I think we definitely need to bolster that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Sterling Shepard, who just came back from injury. He's going to be the number 1 receiver on that team. We're getting great value here. And then let's go ahead and take our quarterback. I still like Goff. Cam Newton's dealing with that foot injury. I don't want to deal with that. Lamar Jackson, very much like him too. And the fact that he's available this late is actually quite surprising. Goff, again, he's got 3 incredible wide receivers. He's going to be very productive. He plays on an awesome offense. There's no question marks with him like there is with someone like Lamar and his offense. So let's go ahead. We'll take Goff as our quarterback. And now we can jump to the next round, the 10th, 11th round. And you can see, so Marquez Valdez-Scantling is the top recommendation. Dante Moncrief, Kalen Ballage. Those are all good choices. Let's see here. Who else are running backs here? So you got Peyton Barber, who I'm not really interested in. Dion Lewis. Devin Singletary is another guy who's very interesting. Jalen Samuel. That guy also has a lot of upside. So, those are possibilities at running back. For wide receiver, we got MVS. Cortland Sutton, don't really want. Anthony Miller, injured. I don't want that. Dante Moncrief. None of these other guys are thrilling me. Look, they all have just terrible outlooks, just not enough volume, not enough value. It's just kind of a wasted pick. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll get Moncrief queued up. We'll get Ballage queued up. We'll get Singletary and Samuels queued up as well. And hopefully some of these guys from the prior round will make it back to us. It's always tough for that to happen because there's such a huge gap between our picks. But, that's how you win the draft. And that's why I like to use the queue, because if they do come back, I want to know it. I want them highlighted on the board so I see them and I get them. So I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick and we'll see who we end up with. Okay, so it's almost back to us. Larry Fitzgerald still on the board, so he would be a tremendous value at this next pick. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Darwin Thompson still on the board as well, and I was hoping he would make it back to us. I think we are definitely going to target him. Talk about a lottery ticket. It has a lot of momentum right now. Currently the number 2 running back behind Williams in Kansas City. If he gets the starting job or he gets a role, he's going to be very productive on a high-powered offense. So let's go ahead. Because Fitzgerald, man, I just can't pass up that value. The value for Fitz, if we look at Fitzgerald, value rank 79, and we are currently at pick number 119. That's an amazing value. So let's go ahead and we'll take Fitz. And then I'm going to go ahead and take Darwin Thompson. So that gives us 4 wide receivers, and I think what I want to do is let's close out this draft by getting ourselves 3 more running backs, and that way we will be in a great position for, and we're going to get high upside running back guys that can really come in and make a difference. So awesome. Darwin Thompson made it back to us here in the, where are we, the 12th round? 11th round. So Darwin Thompson, very happy to have him on the team. Let's go to let's see here. So we are going to be going to the 12th, 13th round. So you can see that the app is recommending now Justice Hill, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins. So we got some great options here. Now let's look at the tight ends because we wanted to get Chris Herndon, and this is going to be the round to get him. So I think we're going to need to devote a draft slot to him. That's right, because we said that because we took Austin Hooper, we were going to draft Herndon as kind of like a backup just in case he doesn't perform up to what I think he's going to do this year. So this guy will come in week 4. We'll just hold him on our bench. It'll be fine. So I like the idea of going for Justice Hill and going for Chris Herndon on this next round. Let's look at other running backs here, though. So we got Justice Hill, Peyton Barber, Nyheim Hines. Don't really have interest in those guys. Damian Harris, who I like. Dion Lewis. Tony Pollard. Okay, there's a guy that we should get. I will take him over Justice Hill just because of the situation with the holdout in Zeke Elliott. And if Zeke sits, this guy is an RB1. So let's go ahead and get some of these guys on queue. I'll come back when it's our turn, and we'll see who we end up with. All right, so it's almost back to us, and you can see I've queued up Justice Hill, Damian Harris, Chris Herndon. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Tony Pollard was already taken, so we missed out on Tony. That's too bad, but I still love Justice. I think he is absolutely my pick here, and then we'll come around on the flip side. We'll take Herndon to back up Austin Hooper, and then we'll take one more running back before the game is over. But I gotta say, I love this draft. I love this team. This is a rock solid team. Just got some incredible value picks there. And again, I hope you noticed how I used the queue, and we got several great value picks during the course of this draft, and only missed out on maybe 1 or 2 guys. I'm not even belly aching about the guys we missed out on, because it's not like that was going to make or break my team anyway. But let's see here. So so look, there's Tony Pollard again. He is not available. Let's look at the running backs for this round. So Pollard, Jamal Williams, Kareem Hunt, Alexander Madison. That's the backup to Cook, Raquel Armistead. Okay, so we did take, we took Leonard Fournette. So let's get Armistead. I think that's a nice, safe pick for us to end. Oh, what's happened here? What's going on? Oh, it says my connection was interrupted. All right, it's back to us. Did it take who we wanted? Yes, it did take Herndon. Oh, okay, and that basically fills out our bench. Okay, great. So we can't take Reichwell. I'm not worried about it. Reichwell is not getting drafted, so he will still be available on waivers. I still have to take a defense and a kicker, so let me just pause. I'll take those guys. We'll come back. We'll review this team. But I got to say, man, I love this team. This is a great team to take into the season with you. I'll be right back. All right, so the draft is done. So let's review this team. I love this team. I would love to take this team in with me to the regular season. So our quarterback, Jared Goff. Our wide receivers, Mike Evans, Robby Anderson, Sterling Shepard, Larry Fitzgerald, and that's it. So we got 4 wide receivers. Running backs, Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, David Montgomery, Phillip Lindsay, Darwin Thompson, and Justice Hill. That is like amazing. That is such a good core of running backs. I am so thrilled. I mean, Montgomery, huge steal in the 4th round. He should not have made it to the 4th pick. But anyway, Austin Hooper's our tight end. We also got Chris Herndon to back him up. So like I said, at week 4, we can, reevaluate. Well, actually probably week 5, week 6, we can reevaluate, see who of these guys we want to keep, because I'm only usually keep one on my team. If Hooper's doing good, I think he's going to be great. But if Hooper's doing what I think he's going to do, he will be just fine. If he's not doing great, we'll go ahead. We'll switch over to Chris Herndon. I did get the Dallas defense, who I am so excited for the Dallas defense this year. Their early season schedule is awesome. And then Giorgio Taveccio of Atlanta is the kicker. So we are set, man. This team rocks. And it's all thanks to my perfect fantasy draft. So please go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. Try the app out. If you like it, you can subscribe. You unlock all the features. You can use it on all of your fantasy drafts this season. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely going to make a difference. This app is keeping up with all the changes that are happening in the fantasy world right now. There's so much stuff going on, games happening, players getting injured, promotions, demotions, all this stuff is happening. It's all being tracked on the app itself. So when you go in on draft day, you can be assured that you're going to have the latest information available, and you are going to be able to make good decisions on these players and get them when you need to target them. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and comment below. And man, happy drafting, everybody. I hope your draft goes as good as this one. Have a good day.